Good afternoon, curling fans, and welcome to the 2023 World Wheelchair Curling Championships from Richmond, BC, Canada. My name's Daniel Wensick, and I'm going to be your guide along the game today between Canada and China. Now, this is a four-player discipline in contrast to the mixed doubles that was played this morning and is also being held at the same time this week. So to introduce the teams, for Canada, we have Mark Idison, who is the skip, but throwing lead stones. Second is Gil Dash. Third, Ina Forrest. And the fourth rock thrower is John Thurston. For China, we're started off with Li Nana. Second is Yang Jinchao. Third, Zhang Zhui Yao. And fourth, Wang Haitao. Now, this is my first time really getting into the wheelchair championships and this discipline. I'm typically playing in sort of the four-player discipline. So we'll see how these players are. Now, watching this morning, the level of skill that these players have is quite incredible. Because as in wheelchair curling, there are no sweepers, so everything must be perfect for them. As with the four-player game, the 5-rock rule is in effect, so no guards can be removed for the first 5 stones of the end. And with the first couple going in the house, the teams are able to hit, and it looks like we're going to be in for a little bit of a clean start to this game. Now, this is the first draw of the fours for the wheelchair fours. So we're probably going to see the teams get comfortable with the ice into the game situations here. And this is our first look at Gil Dash, the second for Team Canada. Up to make the hit, and looks like he's got a piece rolling out. China does have the hammer here, so we're going to see their game plan here. Going to go into the house, opting to keep it a little more simple to start this game. As mentioned earlier, just the level of precision that these players have with no sweeping is just incredible. I think one of the things we're going to see this game is being able to make the most of sort of every shot and try to maximize the value that each player is going to be getting. I think we'll see a couple of differences in the hit weights decided by these two teams as well. And now with the center guard up, we're going to start seeing play come a little more to the middle. We might see a little more offense out of both teams. Ina Forrest here asked for the draw, just a small adjustment from her first shot. The line looks pretty close on this one. This is looking pretty good. Oh, 2 rocks in the top, in that sort of control zone along the center line. China's definitely have to deal with those. Give themselves a good opportunity to score their point here with the hammer. An incredible shot there from Zhang Juiyu. Clear in the front for his team. It's one thing that these teams have to be careful of is grouping their stones, because the big weight ability for these teams is definitely being shown on full force here. Now it's John Thurston's turn to try and get to the top 4 around the guard. Looks like might have gone a pinch deep on him. I think that rock is back button there. With that ice, it looks like China's going to play the hit, try and take a little bit of risk off the table here. So we expect this to be a very close game. This Chinese team is the defending Paralympic gold medal team, and China is the defending bronze medal team. And we can definitely see why they're both reigning Olympic medalists with the display of curling being shown right here. Another great shot from John Thurston, forcing China into a little bit of a difficult blank here. Based on how this ends going, I expect he'll be very close on this. And looks like no mistake. Oh, got away with the jam, but no mistake from Wang Haitao. And we have a blank in the first end here. And we're back for the second end. That first end was definitely an incredible display of wheelchair curling, or just curling in general. I think their teams were well over 90% for that end. There really weren't any misses. With the blank, China will have hammer again this end. This rock sliding behind the T line. We're going to see what China does. Looks like China's taking a very defensive approach to this game, opting to hit. Sometimes you might see teams play a corner guard here, but both strategies can work very well for teams as long as everyone has bought into the strategy. It's like we have a perfect shot here from China lead, Li Nana. Based on the setup again, looks like we're going to have another reasonably clean end here. As my friend John Cullen might say, we're on our way to Blanksville. Now for Leadstone, sticking this one is very important, so the other team does not have a chance to put up a free corner guard. Looks like we have a pretty good shot here from Mark Addison. Oh, it picked. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Looked like he had a perfect shot, going to be hitting nose, and just picks the last moment. Oh, we're going to... Looks like China's going to put another one into the house here. Team Canada's going to have a little bit of a hole to dig themselves out of. So this is definitely a situation for some of the newer skips out there. Some people may look at this situation and want to make that double right away. But really, what the important thing for Team Canada here is just be patient. It's very long end. They still have another 5 shots to go. So their objective is going to be to start trying to group the Chinese stones and try and give themselves an opportunity to make the double later in the end. Any rollouts by Team Canada would just give China a free opportunity to draw into the house again and make their situation a little better. And the double attempt there, just stuffing the yellow rock. It looks like China's going to take the defensive approach to this and going to hit the rock on the side of the 12 rather than draw. He's going to stick it perfectly. That is not an easy shot, especially with that kind of weight. But these players are just so accurate. Again, for Team Canada, the objective here, just group the Yellowstones and give themselves a chance for a double. Sticking around on this is key. But this rock has a bit of curling to do. Oh, just a little too thin. That red rock just sticking around in the back, it looks like. Oh, nope, Mark Addison said it's out. China here with a big draw to sit to. And it looks like no mistake. A very good draw from Zhang Shuaiyu.
Let's see what he says.
It's maybe one of the best opportunities for Team Canada to make the double or the perfect roll. This has come up to nose. Team China with the hit, the big roll. I think China would have preferred to stick around a little closer to nose there to make the double a little harder. Now Canada will be able to hit the shot rock and potentially make the double or roll. This is looking very close to a really nice roll. Just overthrown a little bit. Just seeing the level of precision needed in wheelchair. Yeah, no mistake from Wang Haitao, the Chinese skip. The man has a laser for a shot. I believe that rolled just a little too far to sit shot. So it looks like China's going to have a draw for 2 here in the second end. There's confirming. Looks very close from here, but looks quite clearly that it's yellow from upstairs. And the broom goes down for a draw. So Wang Haitao will test his draw weight here in the second. As a skip, it always feels good when you know you have the 8 foot to hit for the extra points. For in sweeper discipline, the sweepers would have been on this, but just comes up a little short. So it looks like China will be forced to the single point here in the second end. Canada will have hammer when we're back. Welcome to the third end of Canada versus China at the 2023 World Wheelchair Throwing Championships in Richmond, BC, Canada. In the second end, China took a single point, which is getting put on the scoreboard right now. Let's get Mark Idison throwing lead stones, just stuck around on the corner of the house back there. And China's opting to hit it, but they're looking like they're going to roll out here, giving Canada a chance to put up a corner guard and get some offense started. Oh, looks like they might be just drawn into the house here, trying to keep things a little clean. Oh, no, this is going to be short of the house. Looks like the corner guard was in fact the call. This one's an interesting call. China's opting to play around the corner guard. Now remember, with the 5-rock rule, we cannot hit the corner guard. If it was removed, it would be going back. And the China draw looks like it's a little overcurled just a little bit from what they want. So Team Canada's going to have a little bit of backing here, but still a very, very precise shot to both get shot and be buried here. So this is going to be one of the first ends we have a few rocks in play. Expect a lot of the play this end to be around that corner guard. The shot from Gildash a little heavy. Must have caught a slightly different path than the lead stones, just going a little further than expected. China here going to try and shrink the rings a little bit, force play back to the middle. It looks like the freeze is being... Oh, nope, the hit's being called here for Gildash. And try and open up the rings, give themselves a little more space to move. Oh, it looks pretty good. Just a little bit of a roll there. Looks like China's not wanting to risk that rock coming back to play, so they're going to hit it. And perfect shot there from China. Looks like we're going to get played back to the corner guard with that rock not hitting the 8-foot. A little roll inside would have been really good for Team China there. That spot must be very quick. It's the second time that Canada's gotten a little fooled in that path. It's the fourth rock down there this end so far, so it would make sense it would be a little faster now than it was before. And again, with no sweepers, the thrower does need to get it there on their own. I can definitely see how you'd want to give just a little bit more power. This shot here is definitely one of those opportunities to sort of go to school. So that one coming short of the house now can act like a corner guard for Team Canada, which they're going to use, or at least attempt to use, because if they're fully buried here and close to the tee line, they would be shot. And China would be forced into a much more difficult shot than they otherwise would have. A big shot here for Team Canada. Looks like Ina made the adjustment there. Perhaps that side's just a little slower. That's two rocks there that have come up a little shorter than expected. That looks like the shot for Team China. They're going to try and put it about half underneath that red guard on the right side of the 4-foot, half tucked, and about full 8 to prevent Canada from going underneath the other corner guard and choking this guard off. Now, it may sound very easy, but it's quite a precise shot. A little deep and Canada could freeze it, a little short and it's another guard. This is going a little bit deep and curling. That curled almost 2 feet past the guard. Wow. I said you go a little deep there, and Canada has an opportunity to get around everything and sit shot. I believe this is the first draw from John Thurston this game, so we'll see how the communication for the team was in this draw. They went to school on that rock by Team China. This one looks pretty good. Gotta keep going. Oh, we're coming up a little short here. So this must be just a little bit slower than what the teams are expecting. 3 of the last 4 coming up short. This is a very, very smart call from Wang Haitao. His goal here is not to get another rock in the house, but rather to make life harder for Team Canada and make that draw and force them into a new path. But this rock's overcurling a little bit. Well, a couple mistakes from Team Canada here, and they're drawing against 3. John Thurston will be tested on his draw weight once again. As a skip, you have to love having a second chance at the draw. It's just a chance to redeem yourself. Go to school, make the adjustment. This rock is looking pretty good. And perfectly in the 4-foot. Excellent shot from John Thurston. And Team Canada will tie this game up. You're all tied up going to the 4th end. See you shortly. All right, and we are back for the 4th end. Tie game between China and Canada. The first few ends, we're looking a little bit clean, a little more defensive play. With the center guard up, we're going to see a little bit more offense here. First rock from China, just a little bit heavy. Now in the game this morning, the rocks were starting to slow down a little bit later in the game. We were starting to see more curl, a little bit less speed. So we'll see how the players start adjusting the next few ends here. With skip Mark Addison nailing center guard in his first shot, expect it to be very close with a small adjustment. Perfectly top 4. China's definitely shown us a little bit of a more defensive play style. But that rock, looks like that guard's going to be back to the wall. 5 rock really cannot remove opposition rocks in the free guard zone before the 5th stone of the end. So the rock must go back. So a couple of mistakes early from Team China. Team Canada has a chance to pounce and put some real pressure on Team China for the first time this game. The hitting prowess of this Chinese team is on point. Looks like if you give them any kind of inch on those hits, they are not going to miss today. But Team Canada still has the center guard up. And simple open hit here. And just being patient, they will have a chance to use that center guard later this end. We're making a perfect roll here from Gil Dash. My goodness. My goodness, that is a perfect roll. They may look easy, but they absolutely are not. Team China have had enough of this. Just want to get rid of the center guard. Open up the front for themselves. Now, this is one of those times where, as a team, you have to decide if you want to spend some time wasting a couple more rocks and remove the guards, or if you want to make a play in the house now. There's a chance they could make that rock better, but there's always the saying that it's never a bad idea to be shot. Just judging by the play of this Chinese team, they don't seem to want to have opponent rocks in the house, period. So this hit kind of seems to match their play style. And that is a perfect hit and stick from the Chinese third. Team Canada with no choice but to hit. Small roll here may force a little bit more of the issue from Team China. Schwab looks like it needs to be held a little bit. It's getting close to that guard. Oh. Went just a little bit tight the whole way, and that spot is definitely starting to move a little more. One of the hallmarks of a good defensive team is being able to not only just being able to hit, but also being able to place that second shot perfectly. And Team Canada here, if they want to hit the one that's in the top, they'll have to be careful. A nose here will just give China a corner guard to use. If I had to guess, the perfect result here would be rolling right next to that yellow rock in the top 8. This looks like it's overcurling slightly. We'll nose. And Team China will draw to the wing. Attempt to draw to the wing again. This looks like a very similar spot to where Wang Haitao threw in the second end. Came up just a little bit short, so he's definitely going to school on that one. And I expect a perfect adjustment on this. So looks like it will be at least back ring, but it will stick around in the house and will be shot. As long as Team Canada sticks this one, China will should have a hit for 2. There is potentially one perfect spot where you could roll this, but it is a long and challenging roll to make.
You want to hear us talk?
So has a little bit of curling to do. Not quite enough. Will roll out. China, Wang Haitao will have the exact same shot he just had for a second point. Now, if any of you are in the Richmond area, we encourage you to come down, come support the athletes at this wonderful venue. Everything's been set up beautifully. The bar is open and the taps are flowing. And if you've never seen wheelchair curling, it is definitely quite a different experience. This is my first time really getting to see this discipline at this level, and I gotta say I'm super impressed by all these athletes here. No mistake from Wing Hightail, showing us why he is the Paralympic champion. And China will take a 2-point lead as we go into the break here. Welcome back to Canada versus China at the 2023 World Wheelchair Curling Championships, hosted by the Richmond Curling Club in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. So far, we are seeing an excellent performance by Team China with a 2-point lead. Opportunities for both teams have had their opportunities here, but China's just capitalized that little bit more this game and showing up on the scoreboard. Now, this is the fifth end. So this is an end where we start seeing teams talk about scoreboard control. This is an 8-end game. So traditionally in the 8-end game, many players would agree that the most pivotal end is usually end 6. So having hammer in the 6th end is usually a very, very big boost. A couple hits to start the end here for Team Canada. Can only imagine blank is the one thing on their mind right now. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, we will be having streaming of the entire event here on Curl BC TV. So both the fours and the mixed doubles will be streamed for the entire week. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, this is not. We may have some technical difficulties. Oh, we're back.
I want you to hold the clock on Fox. Confirm that we're going to hold the clock on Foxtrot.
Usually in clean ends like this, when I'm out there playing with my competitive teams, typically I have two objectives for clean ends. One is we want to save time. These teams are on clocks, so each team has 38 minutes of thinking time. Looks like most of the teams here are going to be pretty quick with that, and this game being as clean as it is should be no problem for time. But the second objective is to go to school on the ice. The ice is at that point now. They went over with the mop. Things might start changing. Usually about N5 or 6 is where you start seeing the ice slow down. Oh, looks like we're going to have a little bit of a switch up here. Team Canada not going for the hit, but rather they're going to freeze on that Team China stone back tee. There's definitely a little bit of a risk-reward trade-off with this shot. Being made perfect could be a way that they can score their 2 points. Small mistake here, and the odds of a force go up quite dramatically. Shot is coming up a little bit short, but it is a corner guard that could be used later this end. Team China wants nothing to do with that, and they're just going to peel it off. Happy to let Canada continue to try and generate something this end. All right, Team Canada going to school. We'll take another crack at this freeze. As mentioned, that risk-reward trade-off here. China does have to hit the sit too. Will be much harder for Team Canada to get a blank here. I said hammer in the sixth end is super, super important. Oh, we're going to be getting, looks like a rare miss from the Team China skip. I don't think he's missed any of those yet this game. This is a shot. This could just be a little nuance of the wheelchair game that I'm not familiar with, but I do see that they're going to be going for the freeze again. Normally at this point in the end, you're having to buy into whatever hand you're dealt, kind of work with it. Getting 2 points here is likely going to be incredibly difficult, especially with the precision in wheelchair curling. A little surprised that he isn't going for the hit here and taking the blank. Looks like it's going to be a little short of the paint. Not sure if that's in or not. But regardless, it looks like Team China will be playing a draw. Split the rings and sit two. Oh, sliding deep, and it's going through. Wow. That is an unexpected miss from Wang Haitao. We do remind players that it does get a little bit different after the break, because typically at these events, the ice is mopped between the fourth and fifth ends. So when that happens, usually the ice gets about somewhere between 4 to 6 feet faster, and especially for the leads, you have to make a big adjustment in those ends to not overthrow. And now we're seeing John Thurston with the hit. I'm not sure if this is either to blank or if it's to score 2 points. This rock looks like it is curling. A little bit of a miscue there. And China will steal 1 in this fifth end to go up by 3, playing 6. Welcome to the sixth end. China leads this game 4-1 over Team Canada. Say Canada has a main mission here, and that's to generate a few points. They got the corner guard. They got one wrapped around it. So they're going to do everything in their power to keep play over to that corner guard. Score as many points as they could this end. If I had to take a guess, this Team China's probably going to start peeling these guards as soon as they're able to. That's okay. Little short there is okay. Acts as another guard, and if it wasn't moved, you could split that into the rings later. It's when that's still a very good shot for China. Even though that rock didn't leave the house, it moves into a spot that is much more hittable. Plus, it also gives the jam possibility for a hit on that Team China stone, side 4. But Team Canada does have 2 corner guards up that they could use. The line on this looks really good. It's a little deep, but it is buried. That is exactly what Team Canada needs here. Rocks that are buried. Even if Team China was to freeze that back red run and pull them out of play, it does give them things to freeze behind and does open the door for multiples this end. This one looks a little heavy, but if the line's good, it will tap that red one either back or out. Very good shot from Team China there. Mark Addison's called for the double or the hit and roll here, feeling that it likely will not jam if hit perfectly. This does look like a thin half rock to make the double. This rock has a little bit of curling to do, but it looks very, very close. Oh, and a perfect hit and roll. Almost frozen for Team Canada. Excellent shot. Now, this is an interesting call from Team China. They're just playing the freeze. They're not opting to move any of those rocks. Looking from behind the sheet, it looks like that Team Canada stone is mostly open, and this ice does curl enough you could get to it, but you probably would leave a pocket or a double of some kind back for Team Canada. Just a little over curl there from Team China, but it does expose that Team Canada shot stone a little more. That yellow Team China stone biting the top 8 is quite a dangerous rock potentially. So China has an out this end. That's likely what they're going to use. Team Canada calling a timeout, feeling this is an time to take a little bit more time to discuss the shot with their team coaches. It looks like Coach Nick Lismore has said, well, if you don't get there first, they likely will. So looks like we're going top 4 here, around that Yellow Rock top 8. Attempt to make the most of this and force China into some harder shots. I'm not sure what's going on with this rock, but it's definitely curling early. It just looks like it's coming up a bit short. Oh, that is definitely not what Team Canada was looking for. Team China here will attempt to beat Team Canada to the 4-foot and take this entire end away. There must be something about that path. That's quite a bit shorter than I would have expected from Team China there after a shot's last time, but 2 very different paths. So something is definitely a little bit different. We are at the end of the 6th end here. As long as Team Canada had a good conversation about what this spot's doing, it should be very, very close. You can put a lot of pressure on Team China with a really good one here. This spot is definitely starting to slow down. Team Canada fourth rock thrower John Thurston looks a little bit confused or frustrated, whatever the emotion is. It's not perfect. Even from up here, it looked like that rock was a little heavy and just stopped in the top 8. Team China recognizing some potential danger here and wants to remove that Team Canada rock just thrown. Even just a straight nose hit here limits Canada to maximum 2. And this will be a draw for 2 for Team Canada. We're going to see a big deep breath from fourth rock thrower John Thurston. This ice must be slowing down a lot. A little look of disbelief from John Thurston. As that rock comes up short of the paint. That was a lot of rocks coming up short later in this end. So there's definitely something there that both teams ought to be weary of and alert of comes to the next end. And China will lead by 2, playing 7 with hammer. Thanks for bearing with us, folks. A little bit of technical difficulty on our end, trying to make sure the picture quality is as crisp as can be. Had a couple people say we can't see the sheet, so we'll make sure that you know exactly what's going on here in this tight game between Team Canada and Team China. Team Canada here, kind of not quite must-steal mode, but getting pretty close to a spot where they have to put a lot of pressure on Team China. Rock for Team Canada coming a little deep. We're not curling quite enough. Either or would have been pretty good there. Team Canada want as many rocks in play here to generate some offense. And with the hitting ability of Team China, this is definitely going to be a tall order for the Canadians. Looks like Skip Mark Edison, believing that high center guard may be a little bit of a tall order, opting to go in the house instead. And a great shot there from Team Canada second, Gil Dash. Definitely will buy Team Canada a little bit of time here as Team China comes up to peel the guards. I think for the next few shots here, we're going to see the guard go up and China peel. There will be a point in time where Team Canada will want to get a second shot in there and at least make China look at a couple. Oh, apparently that high guard, Gil Dash, making it look quite simple. We always say with our men's team is that the open peel can be one of the easiest shots, but it's also one where you must stay mentally strong. And it's very easy to get careless on some of those. But no mistake from the Chinese. We want to give a big shout out to all the volunteers at this World Wheelchair Curling Championship. As you may see running around the ice, we have basically an army of people helping out, basically keeping the games and running in good order, catching rocks, setting rocks up, helping out with the streaming, timekeeping, organization, other officiating, and more. Oh, a little unlucky break there for China, kicking their own one off the edge of the 12. But that was still the safe way to play the peel. Here we come to Skip Stones. Looks like the shot here is one more guard before Team Canada will put their last one into the forefoot. Looks like China's opting to ignore that guard. Instead, going to go into the house. Attempt to get shot now, forcing Team Canada into a harder shot. However, they will leave that center guard up, assuming this is successful. A little bit of a miscue. Looks like the ice is starting to curl a little bit more as the game goes on. The ice gets a little bit flatter. Typically, you start seeing more curl if there's not quite enough rotation. As my friend Matthew McCurdy would usually say, the ice is curling, just throw some rotation. Team Canada, fourth rock thrower John Thurston, basically has been throwing draws for the last few ends non-stop, so expect it to be very close. This is looking like a pretty good shot from fourth rock thrower John Thurston. I am not sure if nose hit for China will get them shots, but for sure they will be playing the hit here. It does look like there is a double to get 2 for China, but for them here, the objective is definitely make sure they score their 1. Regardless, very good end played by Team Canada. Finally putting a little bit of pressure on Team China. We see a rollout from Team China. But Team Canada will steal 1. Only a 1-point deficit going into the 8th and final end of regulation play. And we're back for the 8th end of this Team Canada versus Team China game. China leads 4-3 with Hammer playing the 8th end. Team Canada with two really good center guards up. If this China Rock stops, might be a third center guard. It's coming up a little short. That does act like a quasi center guard for Team Canada. So they will have an opportunity here to get something going. And as we saw in the sixth end, this is starting to get a little slow and a little, not sure if it's patchy or just slowing down period. But whoever makes the best adjustments in this end likely is going to come away the winner of this game. Usually in these must-steal situations, the team with hammer, the second's first rock, is arguably the most important rock of the end up until skip shots, because this is your best chance to get that rock top four, top button, and shot before the other team starts peeling off all of the guards. Excuse us for the technical difficulties on the camera. We're going to try and angle this as best as we possibly can for the best view of the near end of the house. Ooh, a little bit of a miscue there from Team China. It's really the first peel we've seen them miss all game. It's quite surprising. Excuse us for the view here. Excellent shot by Team Canada with the perfect hit and roll. Now Team Canada with two rocks close to the center line with one center guard up. So this is a really, really good setup for Team Canada. And if the center guards are put back perfectly, the draw to the forefoot is going to be incredibly difficult for Team China. Hope this camera view is a little bit better for everyone. I understand we're having some technical difficulties with the zoom in feature going on here. So try and keep you as close to the action as possible. Trying to keep tabs on all the rocks. Every rock that you can see on the screen right now is in play. There's nothing else in the house or anywhere else that no jam possibilities or funky shots there, but if something comes up, we will definitely zoom out for you. Now with the Team Canada setup here being so good, looks like Team China's opting to start playing a little bit more aggressively, trying to move those top 12 rocks around. And good break for Team China, knocking off that center guard. But again, with those rocks on the 4-foot lines, it will make any draw very difficult for Team China. I expect at some point soon, Team China will be trying to run their own rocks into the house. So for all the fans who are watching, all of the rocks that are in play right now, you can see on the camera. There is nothing else in play. There's no weird kickers, nothing back for. This is what is in play here. So we only have 2 shots left, one for each team. Team Canada will be throwing here. So Team Canada looking for any way that they can get a second rock in here and buried to potentially give themselves the best chance at winning this game right here. Based on this broom going down, I think they're going to be going wide side around this corner guard, top 12. Try and keep about a quarter rock open on the wide side and force China into a draw into the side to force an extra. Big shot here for Canadian fourth rock thrower John Thurston. This is one, even if you're not completely perfect, but you're in the house, will help. This must be very tricky ice, as we've seen a lot of rocks come up short on that draw path. Or that could just be the first rock out that far wide. Whatever happened, it came up a little short. And Wang Haitao will have this chip and flop into the forefoot for the win. This is a lot of weight again. He needs to catch a piece. And the same result as the first. A lot of weight. Runs straight on him. And we are going to go one more end. Team Canada can breathe a sigh of relief. Team Canada has clawed their way back from down 3 to tying this game. And we will be playing a 9th right after this. Here we go, curling fans. Bonus curling here at the 2023 World Wheelchair Curling Championships. Team China looked to be very much in command early this game, but a couple missteps, and Team Canada has clawed their way back into contention here, and we are into an extra end. Unfortunately, Team Canada's first rock came just short of crossing the hog line. But the second guard, no mistake. A big shot here for Team Canada's second gill dash.
2 minutes, Redstone's Foxtrot.
A good shot here to the forefoot will give his team an excellent chance to steal this end. Little rub straightened that out, but a fantastic shot from gill dash there. Going top four. Team China here with a little bit of a wide throw, but they will get the back one. Could say it's a little bit of a lucky break. Also could be a bit of a smart call from their skip. In case he was a little wide, he would have an opportunity to still make a good shot.
Thank goodness. What they're hoping is that they're going to shrink. So stop.
Well, they say if you can do it once, you can do it again. It's always a nice feeling being able to throw the same shot twice. This one, not quite shot rock, but still a very good shot regardless, as that is a very usable stone for later this end. This time, a little bit of an overcorrection from Team China second. But he will make the double. Again, Team Canada is pleased to have a center guard up, being able to come around something. And for this rock, anything between the top four and top eight is very good. This is not quite getting as much curl as I think they were hoping for, even with the extra speed. Team China wanted to keep the rings open rather than the front clear, opting to hit the rock back four. It looks mostly open. And another attempt for Team Canada third, Ina Forrest. Try to get this one buried. Buried and shot. This one definitely looks a little lighter than her first one. That does come up short, leaves another guard, but it's likely that China has to make this double peel, or Canada will just attempt the come around once again. And perfect double peel. It is decision time for Team Canada. Now, typically, this is where trying to steal, your objective will be to sit two for the opponent's final shot, in whatever way it takes. Sitting two is very key. Big draw for John Thurston. Needs the 4-foot. And that is about as perfect as he could have asked for. That is a fantastic draw. You're likely going to see China try and run this yellow one in. Any sort of miscue, and we'll likely see Team Canada play a very similar shot, and Team China will have to draw to the full 4-foot to win this game. Very big shot here for Team China and Wang Haichao. No mistake. Phenomenal shot from Wang Haichao. That is the shot of a Paralympic champion. And here, John Thurston will have to make effectively the same shot once again to force Team China into throwing their last. You just have to do the same thing once again. The line looks very good. I'm not sure about the weight. I'm not sure about the weight, but it looks like he got it. And it looks like Wang Haichao will either have the same run back or a draw. It's a half in the forfeit to win this game. He just made this run back once. He's been making these all game. You would think he'd be very close to making this one too. And it looks like he's got this. Fantastic shooting today from Wang Haichao and Team China. And they will pick up the win here in the extra end. What an exciting first game here in Draw 1 at the World Wheelchair Curling Championships. With play like that, I would expect both these teams to meet again at some point this week. Thanks everyone for tuning in to Draw 1 of the World Wheelchair Championships 2023 here in Richmond, BC. My name is Daniel Lenzik, and it's been a pleasure being with all of you this afternoon. See you all soon.